Some people say masturbation is a curse, a sign of weakness, a source of guilt, shame, and confusion. Others believe it's natural, healthy, and even essential. So which one is it? Despite all the debates, one thing stands out. Most people don't stop doing it. And that's interesting, isn't it? Because when a behavior appears across cultures, religions, and even across different species, it's worth taking a deeper look. Today, we're going to explore what science actually says about masturbation. Not just whether it's good or bad, but how often is healthy, what it does to your brain and body, and what purpose it might serve from an evolutionary point of view. I'm Dr. Eva Danial, and if you've ever wondered where the urge to masturbate truly comes from, science has an answer, and I'm going to break it down right here. Science has developed several fascinating models to explain masturbation, especially because it's not just a human behavior. It shows up in animals too. However, most of these models focus on men, not because women don't masturbate, but because their biological patterns follow a different scientific framework. So in this video, we're focusing on men, simply because female biology deserves its own detailed explanation. So here's what researchers now believe. Masturbation is more than a random habit. It might serve an actual biological purpose. But what kind of purpose? If masturbation has an evolutionary function, it must offer a competitive advantage, because in nature, advantage usually ties back to reproduction. Could masturbation somehow help a male improve his chances of passing on his genes? Surprisingly, many researchers think so. One hypothesis suggests that masturbation acts like biological maintenance, clearing out older sperm, improving sperm quality, and even helping the body prepare for quicker ejaculation when it matters most. In evolutionary terms, that could be the difference between reproductive success and no offspring at all. Another theory suggests that masturbating without ejaculating before sex may allow faster fertilization afterward. This could give lower-ranked males in competitive environments a chance to reproduce before being pushed aside, giving them a subtle reproductive edge. Interesting, right? Across species, masturbation is common, but only one species attaches morality to it: humans. Animals don't feel guilt or shame. They simply act. Humans act and then assign meaning to what they've done. That's the real difference. And because of this, one big question always comes up. How often is enough? If this question hits close to home, if you've ever felt confused, guilty, or curious about your habits, then you're in the right place. If you want medical insight without judgment, you're definitely in the right place. And if you enjoy content like this, a like, share, or subscription is like digital applause, free for you, incredibly motivating for me. So, how often should you masturbate according to science? Let's look at the data. For physical health, especially prostate health, research gives a crystal clear number: 21. One major study, the Health Professionals Follow-Up Study, found a 33% reduction in prostate cancer risk for men who masturbate 21 or more times per month. With nearly 30,000 participants and over 222,000 years of follow-up, that's not a small result. That's a strong scientific foundation. But masturbation doesn't just affect the prostate, it affects the brain. Every time you masturbate, your brain goes through a predictable cycle. Dopamine rises, tension drops, the reward system activates. It feels good, even therapeutic. But that same reward system can turn masturbation into a coping mechanism, especially during stress, boredom, or loneliness. Science doesn't give a fixed mental health number, but it gives us a warning sign. If masturbation becomes your main emotional escape, you might be reinforcing a pattern that soothes you but doesn't heal you. That's not a moral issue, it's a neurological one. Your brain rewires itself based on repeated behavior. Masturbate occasionally and it's harmless. Masturbate excessively out of habit or emotional escape, and your brain will learn to depend on it automatically. This is where the conflict begins. Culture may say don't do it, but your brain says this works. That tension creates guilt, shame, secrecy, confusion. Many men end up hating themselves for something that is neurologically effective, and that emotional cycle keeps them stuck. Science can erase that emotional conflict, but it can reveal the loop. And once you understand the loop, you can step out of it whenever you choose. So, is masturbation good or bad? Honestly, that's the wrong question. Biology doesn't care about morality. It cares about function. Culture doesn't care about biology. It cares about meaning. As a man, you live between those two forces, between what your body wants and what society expects. It's not easy, but it's not a flaw. It's an opportunity to understand yourself more deeply, not by fighting your urges, but by understanding them. If this video helped you take even one step toward clarity, then it was worth it. When it comes to your sexual health, the most important thing to remember is that awareness creates control. The more you understand your biology, the easier it becomes to guide your behavior instead of feeling controlled by it. Masturbation, like any other habit, sits on a spectrum, from healthy expression to emotional avoidance, and only you can truly determine where you stand. What matters most is balance, intention, and honesty with yourself. If you're using it consciously, it can be part of a healthy, stress-relieving routine. But if it's masking deeper emotions, that's a sign to pause and reflect. Knowledge is power, and understanding your urges is the first step to mastering them. I'm Dr. Eva Danial, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. As we dive even deeper into this topic, it's important to understand that human sexuality isn't just a physical function. It's a psychological ecosystem shaped by biology, evolution, hormones, personal experiences, and cultural conditioning. Masturbation sits right at the intersection of all these influences. That's why the conversation around it is often so emotionally loaded. What feels natural to one person may feel sinful to another. And that difference isn't because of biology, it's because of beliefs passed down through family, culture, or religion. But here's the truth science continues to highlight. Your sexual behavior doesn't define your worth. It doesn't determine whether you're strong or weak, disciplined or lazy, moral or immoral. What defines you is your awareness, your choices, and your ability to reflect on your own patterns. That's where real strength lies. Masturbation becomes a problem only when it takes control of you, not when you're consciously choosing it. For some men, masturbation becomes a default response to stress, not because they're addicted in a clinical sense, but because the brain quickly learns that sexual release provides instant relief. Dopamine spikes, cortisol drops, and for a moment, the world feels manageable again. The problem is that this type of relief is temporary, a bandage, not a solution. Over time, emotional challenges build up underneath, making the cycle more intense. Understanding this doesn't mean judging yourself. It means recognizing that your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. Seek relief, reward, and comfort. If you can see your behavior from that perspective, you stop being your own enemy. You start becoming your own scientist, observing, adjusting, and growing. Another key point to consider is how modern life influences our urges. We live in an age where stimulation is everywhere. Short videos, explicit content, hypersexualized media, and the constant pressure to perform or appear successful. Men today face triggers that didn't exist 50 or even 20 years ago. So if you sometimes feel overwhelmed by your urges, understand that you're not flawed. You're responding to a world that constantly pulls at your biology. This is why learning to regulate your impulses is more important than ever. It's not about suppressing your sexuality. It's about understanding it, steering it, and integrating it into your life in a healthy way. If you want to cultivate a healthier relationship with your sexual habits, start with simple practices. Create space between your urge and your action. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Is this desire or is this escape? You'll be surprised how often the answer brings clarity. You can also improve your relationship with your own body by strengthening other parts of your life: emotional connection, physical activity, creativity, purpose, and relationships. The stronger these areas become, the more balanced your sexual habits will naturally feel. Desire loses its intensity when life becomes fulfilling in multiple dimensions. Remember, sexual energy is real energy. It's powerful, creative, and deeply connected to your identity. When you learn to channel it, whether through physical intimacy, productivity, or personal growth, it transforms from something confusing into something empowering. And perhaps one of the biggest lessons is this: you're not alone. Millions of men struggle with the same questions. How much is normal? Why do I feel guilty? Why do I repeat the same habits? Why do my urges feel so strong? The fact that you're asking these questions already puts you on the path to growth. Masturbation is not your enemy. Ignorance is. When you understand your urges, you gain control. When you gain control, you gain confidence. And when you gain confidence, every part of your life, relationships, intimacy, mental health, and even self-esteem, begins to shift. The more knowledge you gather, the more power you have over your choices. And power over your choices is power over your life. So whether you choose to masturbate often, occasionally, or rarely, what matters most is that the decision is yours, conscious, intentional, and aligned with the person you want to become.